Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Picture here, family of 6 in hands of bandits, says Shehu Sani. Train attack, terrorists contact hostages' families. NIN SIM linkage ends today. UTME begins May 6 in 645 centers. OAU students, are they doing? Others have case to answer. People dies, 15 injured in Ondo school bus fire. And bandits kill 23, abduct many in Kaduna village. Okay, let's start with the major headline, BC.
Yes, so I want to give the names of
the family of 6.
The people. So according to, we know what happened in the Kaduna train, and the train that was bound for Abuja was attacked. And I think we took that story yesterday and also had security experts come to tell us what they think about it. So now some of the passengers were abducted, aside from the ones that died. Some were abducted, and the abductors now and kidnappers are calling some of the family members to tell them that I have so-and-so person with me, I have so-and-so person with me, but they are safe. So they gave the names of these people that were abducted. It said Trade Union Congress Secretary General Musa Uzigi-Lawal, TUC Kwara State Chapter Chairman Akin Shola, National Board of Technical Education, NBTE Director at Kaduna Office, Abdul Isal, and some other persons. Yeah. And so they are saying that they have not demanded for any amount of money yet. So they are hoping, finding ways that the federal government can, help them get these people out.
Mike, you have a picture story.
I want to talk about the family of 6 that Shehu Sani tweeted. He tweeted a family of 6 that were on the train, and he did this through his verified Twitter handle, and he says the whole family in the hands of train attack terrorists. If this doesn't touch the heart of or prick the conscience of this country's leaders, nothing will. He tweeted the photo, and he's just asking us to help tackle the government.
According to him, he also added that we need our own Northwest security network to tackle bandits. So that's more of local security to be able to tackle bandits. I have the 2 stories of the OAU students. It says that in Osun State High Court, Justice Oyebola Ojo has ruled that the Hilton Hotel owner, Dr. Rahman Adedoyin, has a case to answer. He is alongside 6 members of his staff. According to him, the defense was saying that he had no case. We're defending these people, saying that they have no case to answer. But the justice replied and said, no, you're not the judge. I am the one that says that they indeed have case to answer and they must appear before the court. Another story also, about 15 people were involved in an accident in Ondo State. There was fire. People just noticed that fire was burning. They now reached out to find out what happened. It was a school bus that caught fire. One of the people have died. The others are critically injured. The school is yet to respond to this incident, but nothing wasn't hit. Nobody hit the bus. It just caught fire. So it was obviously a maintenance issue.
It's probably a wiring issue.
A maintenance issue that happened.
I just wanted the bandits killed 23 in Kaduna villages. They ransacked on Tuesday night. They attacked the villages, 9 of them, and they abducted about 50, and they killed 23.
Yeah. Moving on quickly to the Punch. El Rufai corporates military. ACF laments defense headquarters fails to deploy to Kano in Northwest. U.S. Embassy in Abuja begins interview waiver for visa renewals. 20 Niger residents fleeing bandits attack in overloaded boat drone. Face mask now optional. COVID-19 restrictions goes to state federal government. NDLEA Bus 5-member airport drug syndicate seizes 19.8 million naira cash. Report of stepping down for Atiku mischievous, says Saraki. NAFDAC gets WHO certification, plans a vaccine laboratory in June. Okay, which story? Major headline?
Major headline. The Kaduna State Governor, El Rufai, yesterday was saying that he is really frustrated and helpless, saying that the military knows the location of the bandits that are wreaking havoc in the state, but they are refusing to bomb their hideouts. He said 5 months ago we had this to Kano jets, and the excuse that was given initially was the fact that the bandits have not been proscribed as terrorists because they didn't want to infringe on their human rights if they attack them. Now they have been proscribed and nothing is done. He said the villagers know where these people are. The DSS has some of their contacts. They're able to tap into their lines to hear some of their conversations, and yet nobody is willing to go there and launch out an attack, that this is becoming one too many. And, you know, yesterday I also mentioned about this to Kano Jets. I thought we're all expecting that when this comes, we'll be able to launch an attack and, you know, help solve the problem, especially in these areas.
I like the way they talked about their phones.
Yes.
Because that's the easiest way to trace these people. And you are telling us you can't. They use the phones of the of the kidnapped, the victims.
To call their
You can't trace them. You can't go to the telcos and get there. I mean, this country. Anyway, I just wanted to.
Yeah, he also said that he knows that he's ready for any extra casualties if they launch out at that attack. That it's like a war has started in that place. They need to declare war. And of course, they will have a few innocent people that will be casualties. But if they don't do it, we'll keep having more innocent people being killed almost on a daily basis.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about Kyari being rejecting the prison food. His wife is bringing food. You know, he was remanded in the Kuje prisons. So his presence, the prisoners are now excited. Hey, this is the person that has been locking us since.
Oh, really? For real?
So he's down with
they are not beating him up.
He said his presence has, however, generated excitement in the facility.
Wow.
Many inmates who had some encounters with him and others who heard about his ongoing trial have been discussing the...
Hope they're not beating him in prison. You know, when we watch all these movies, that's what we see.
Was remanded there,
I think when we watch all these movies, that's what we see.
Now.
When they now bring your guy inside, the boys will deal with
prisoners,
All right, so NDLEA launched a string operation that led to the arrest of fleeing drug kingpin heading towards the Murtala International Airport. This was stated by the spokesperson and head of media and publicity, Femi Babafemi. He was saying specifically that they found the professional methamphetamine, the meth cook, and the lawyer were also arrested in Owerri, Imo, Ado Ekiti, and Ekiti State. He also said that the Lagos Airport drug syndicate was behind the smuggling of 1,584,000 tablets of tramadol. And they also seized quite a bit of, was mostly tramadol, 17 cartons of tramadol, and something called Royal with a weight of 217 kg. I mean, as I said, we've always been so impressed with the work NDLEA is doing, and we like the fact that they're constantly intimating us with exactly their arrests and their progress. Okay, let's move on quickly. Let's take a see how much time do I have left. I have a few more minutes. Let's go straight to Daily Sun. Kaduna train track 18 armed escorts aboard, says NRC. Death of TUC Secretary Kwara Chairman, huge loss, says Ngige. Second Niger Bridge, we can't destroy our own property, IPOB replies Fashola. Murder of OAU student, hotelier staff case, they have a case to answer. Insecurity, sack service chiefs or face protest, group tells Buhari. Okay, which story are we starting with?
We could take that major headline. Yeah, so the governors of the 36 states of the Federation, under the auspices of the Nigeria Governors Forum, have condemned the Kaduna-Abuja attack, which happened on Monday, describing it as a horror dream orchestrated by wicked merchants of death that we must all wake up from to address. So they observed a 1-minute silence in honor of the victims, and they said that the country needs to give an apology to all of those people who have lost their lives. The apology should be given to their family members. And they are also saying that, on the other hand, the Nigerian Consultative Forum, that's the NCF, are calling on the service chiefs to immediately resign their positions, saying that they do not have the ability to secure the lives and property. You know, we've had this call over and over, and nothing is being done about it. We don't even want anybody to resign as it is, because we had somebody new take over, and we're still having these issues. We just want to know the action plan. We want to understand why those Kano jets that have been given are not being used for these people. Somebody should give us an explanation. What's the delay? Are they planning to use it at some point in time?
And also the managing director said of NRC said they had 18 armed personnel on board.
Yes.
And that this situation does not call for a blame game. But all hands must be on deck to avoid the...
He said it on our show yesterday. He mentioned it. They have the...
But were they equipped?
That was armed. They're armed. They had
armed, were they?
Well, he said it yesterday that they were overpowered. So there were 18 of them, but they were overpowered. He said it. Let me go in the program. We'll come back. We'll continue this conversation.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So moving on still to another story in Daily Sun about IPOB. So IPOB has responded to Minister Fashola saying that they vehemently oppose to the naming of the second Niger Bridge after President Buhari. According to them, the bridge should rather be called Achuzie Bridge or named after other accomplished Igbo patriots who have done very well in that region. Also, they also wanted to debunk the allegation that the minister had said that IPOB disturbed the construction of the second Niger Bridge. I say that that's also never happened, that they're challenging him on that. And I think what happened, because I read that article, the minister had said that IPOB COVID-19 and the hashtag NSAS prevented that. I can understand if you have foreigners building a bridge, for example, they're not Nigerians building the bridge. A foreigner will probably want to go to a place that is volatile or somewhere that's unsafe. So there are different factors that will cause people to say, I can't go to that place because of the activities of IPOB or the burning here, so those are things that could be, not that they were accused, so just those are things that prevented the bridge from being completed at the time they were supposed to complete it, not that IPOB indeed actually came to stop the construction.
Yeah, but why do we have to name some of these things with people's names? Why don't you just make it?
It's an honor. It's an honor.
The way the country is going.
When the person has died.
Yeah, well, so they are also suggesting. Okay, well, they are suggesting Dora Akunyili. People that have actually, they're real patriots.
Because there is so much tension in that area.
It's not the time to name.
It's not the time to name that kind of thing,
Just give it a neutral name.
Well, I
Second Niger Bridge.
Yeah, finish.
Fine.
I guess for this administration, it's a major accomplishment for them that bridge was completed, because many administrations have tried to complete it, that was never done. So because of that's pretty much the rationale.
But people know that. Look, Third Mainland. Don't you know that IBB did that bridge?
Yeah.
When he tried to name it after himself, everybody
said no. We should stop this for now.
So it's still Third Mainland Bridge.
Yeah.
All right, moving on quickly.
They even named it, but nobody calls it that name.
Let's move on quickly to Vanguard. I like that. Kaduna train attack questions our capacity to govern. I think BC took that story earlier. 30 days ago, I didn't know I'll become APC national chair, says Adamu. Okay. Why Nigeria should reduce annual population growth, says NPC chairman. Said that yesterday on our show. Adekoke's murder, you have case to answer in court. The court tells, are they doing? FG approves lie detector tests, detectors, night vision goggles for NDLEA. US begins interview waiver program for certain visa renewals. Autumn furious over armed headers killings in Benue communities. How I plucked my victim's eye to make a charm. Okay, which story? Human interest?
Did you take it? Yes, so while she's getting that, let me take the talk about the MPC. So the Executive Chairman, National Population Commission, MPC, Alhaji Nasser Kwara, yesterday was emphasizing the need for Nigeria to control its population growth. So he said they organized a workshop for journalists talking about the national population policy, and he's charging media professionals to try as much as possible to educate Nigerians on why the country needs to reduce its national annual population growth. He said we need to make a lot of noise about this. The plan is to ensure that we reduce this national growth by 2% in 2030. And they're also saying that we need to also look at reduction of the fertility rate, which currently is on 5.3% to 4.30% by 2030. And they are talking about how we can also look into the maternal mortality rates, which they want to reduce from 512 by 100,000 live births to 72% to 0 in 2030. And this, the media has to do in line with the NPP. That's the policy that they are talking about.
Okay, I wanted to take the boy that removed the eyeball of a 12-year-old boy. The boy himself, 17, there is a picture of him very young. He lured the boy, tricked him that come and get sweet or something. I want to send you on a message. When he got to the quiet place, he plucked out his eye. They saw the boy on the side of the road, his eye bleeding, and they saved him. And he says he did it because he wanted to stop...
protect himself?
Protect himself, yes, from the bandits.
Being seen by bandits.
Because every time they go to the farm or the bush to get firewood, the bandits attack them. So he did that to stop the bandits from seeing him.
So it was like a disappearance charm.
Yes. Yeah. And he alleged that this lady.
Elderly woman?
The lady
over
was
100. She's over 100.
Yes, told him to do that. She's denying it, saying he came for cream for his rashes. Whatever, it's a terrible story, and it's just showing the situation in our country today. He didn't do it for money. He did it to protect himself but injured another person to protect himself. It's just a really decadence in our society. It's horrible, horrible.
The U.S. Embassy in Abuja yesterday said it has commenced the interview waiver program for certain visa renewals. There was a statement made yesterday that those with the visa B1, B2, the F, and the MJ academic-only visas, all the applicants previously received the U.S. visa who are trying to renew don't have to come for an interview. And that's good news for many Nigerians who are trying to just simply do the I think it's called the drop box. Yeah. So now that has been reopened for people to do. There was another story that caught my attention, NDLEA, but I think...
we have it in the Tribune.
Okay, let's move on quickly now. Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. OAU students, we talked about that earlier. Reps Committee uncovers 300 billionaire unclaimed funds in bank. River pollution, Osun declares war on illegal miners. Edo Assembly passes anti-open grazing bill. Olu of Warri visits Abiodun, predicts oil discovery in Ogun. FG approves procurement of lie detector tests for the night vision goggles for NDLEA. 2023 presidency, blackmail can't stop North from fielding candidates, says Northern Coalition. Okay.
So let's do NDLEA first. So the Federal Executive Council has approved the procurement of lie detector and digital night vision goggles for the National Drugs and Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, to enhance their performance. So they had a meeting and they presented two projects that they wanted to finance. And so those projects have been, accepted by everybody and was approved. So they'll be needing about, I want to get the amount of money now. They said, so there's this company that will be handling it, NDLEA, in favor of MES Zettabyte Technologies Limited in the sum of 498,850,000 only, which includes the 7.5% VAT. And it will be on the completion of a period of 90 days. And the other amounts for, I think, the night goggles is about 570. The same company, Outset Integration Solution Limited, 825,000, inclusive of that 7.5% VAT, and they will pay over time. So now this is as a way of enhancing the technology that's being used by the NDLEA. Said they've been doing quite a lot, and they need to get this lie detector test. They need to be able to have these eye scanners and also eye goggles to be able to operate at night, just to enhance their technology so that they can do better. And they're doing quite well. They're doing quite a lot. I'm happy for them. And
Amechi is doing the blame game again. He says it was the bureaucratic bottleneck for the procurement of the digital security that has caused this, and he's throwing blame everywhere. But I want to say that he should stop blaming people. I think he should take responsibility for it. And
take this lesson.
Because there was somebody on this morning, a security yesterday, that said, all this one that he's saying, it should have been installed when the train was being installed.
What if, as a minister, he demanded, he sent memos, he had meetings, they requested, they demanded, and nothing happened? So at this moment, he's now saying,
look, that train should not have been put on the road. You know the security issue.
Everything should have been
should have been in place before the train ever left. Now, the thing has happened. Go and tell the people that they are looking for their people, or their people have died. That is because
you don't
put your... that is your responsibility.
Yeah, to say we're not going live because we're not ready. Simple.
Yes, and then they will do it. You are supposed to have even installed it when before the train took off. I beg.
So we have...
I was going to take a story from the Northern Coalition. Coalition of Northern groups actually are saying that they cannot be intimidated not to support a Northern candidate. That this issue of zoning, in place of any rotation arrangement that was not and will never work, the North is rather focusing on necessity of searching for an upright, physically healthy, mentally alert, knowledgeable person to be the president. That they're not looking at the rotation, because remember, there's still an issue where they're insisting that we must zone. I think this is from PDP. They must zone to the south. But this coalition of North groups are saying none of this would stop them from fielding a northern candidate because they're looking for competence, and this issue of zoning does not come about now.
Yes, so the House of Representatives yesterday said they have uncovered 300 billion unclaimed funds trapped in some commercial banks. Now, there was an ad hoc committee that was set up to investigate and recover these funds that have been trapped. And this is as a result of some transactions that was carried out by ministries, departments, and agencies. And they said this money was said to be hanging. You know, when you do failed transactions, and all the money is hanging. So they said the 300 billion is a fraction of 1.2 trillion unclaimed funds yet to be discovered by the ad hoc committee. And they're doing all in their power to discover this money, saying that we can't have debts hanging all over our heads. We need money to be able to fund some project. And then we now have money that is hanging somewhere from some of these banks. They also accused Citibank that they have not, presented their papers, that the paper they presented before, they brought another one that seemed there were a lot of discrepancies, the names, as if they reduced the number and the amount of money some customers had that were presented initially. The manager of Citibank has said, we did not reduce anything. We submitted the same papers that you asked us to submit before. It's been a back and forth. So I'm happy that they are recovering this money, and I hope that they use the money judiciously to be able to pay off some debts or do some debts or do some other things that we need. We need to repair this, our train now that was destroyed. We need money.
It's like 8 billion naira, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was
8 billion, and they don't know when it will be ready.
Sadly, let's move on quickly. I think I'll have one more paper. The Guardian. There's a story that caught my attention. Experts blame government for failure to secure rails. 20 drowned fleeing attacks in Niger as terrorists again killed 23 in Kaduna. That was a really sad story. It says about 20 persons, including women and children, have lost their lives as they're trying to escape from Niger State. The incident occurred yesterday when the gunmen, said to be numbering over 200, invaded a town in Munya local government and ransacked the place, looting foodstuff and everything. These people were trying to escape. They got some 10 boats, took off to escape. There were quite a number of people. There were about 60 people, women and children. So far, they have about 20 that have been dead, but we don't even know. They're just trying to escape that invasion of these terrorists. This is really, I mean, I can understand where Governor Fayemi, the chairman of the NGF, is saying that, listen, we look like we're just totally incompetent.
Yeah.
In our celebration, in our happiness, our country is bleeding. And that's the saddest part of the whole thing.
I'm not even sure which celebration he's celebrating.
No, he's not celebrating. I'm just saying that when we're just doing things, right now they had last weekend they had the convention, the APC convention, they have new leaders. Everybody, there's a lot of joy of, okay, this is a new chairman, but the truth is the country is bleeding.
Blood is flowing,
Yeah. See, these poor people, they left their villages to escape and now entered another wahala. And this is what I'm saying. It's just one bad, it's
robbing
bad
on
news.
everything.
It's terrible, and it just makes me sad. It just makes me sad.
That is all we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.